Are you looking for a place to cycle with a lot of leafy canopy? Keep you cooler on those hot summer days? Well, join us as we discover the cover on the Greenway in Matthews, North Carolina. This is Squirrel Lake Park, and it has direct access to the Matthews Township 4 Mile Creek Greenway, and it's located at 1631 Pleasant Plains Road. Yes, there is parking, and yes, there are potty facilities, and yes, it is paved. Well, there is a trail that's made of gravel that shoots off this greenway, but we'll discuss that later. And the length? Well, don't believe what you read online. I saw where it said it was only 2 miles long, and then I saw where it was 4 miles long, but I put 13 miles on my bike, but I did retrace my steps. So that means there's at least 6 miles, right? Let's take a look at the map. I've loaded it up with lots of information, so you can screenshot it if you'd like, but basically there are 3 branches on this greenway, and the confusing part is just tightly close in to where Squirrel Lake Park is because of the intersections. So we'll go through that as we ride. When you're ready to ride, orient yourself so that the restrooms are on your left and the bollard to the trailhead is straight in front of you. There are also 2 other bollards, one that will go to the playground, so that's a no-no, and one that goes to a tiny greenway that just goes back up to the front entrance of the park. So go ahead and jump right in at that bollard straight in front of you and head towards the lake. First thing you'll see is this big pavilion. Make sure you veer to the right around it. Follow the lake down until you come to the first intersection. Once you've turned right, you'll notice a lot of signs. Well, those are storyboards. Each of these signs has a featured laminated page from a children's book, and as you walk along, each one of the signs has another page to the story. After the story walk section, you'll come to the second intersection. Take note of the sign on the left where it looks blank from your point of view because it's the back of the sign. Well, that's the sign that tells you how to get back to Squirrel Lake Park. I'm just telling you about it because when you're heading back to the park at the end of your ride, that sign is a little bit sideways, so it might be missed. If you turn right, you're going to go to the boardwalk that I call the Lovely Boardwalk just before you come to East John Street. Turn left to continue to the other 2 branches on this greenway. When you come to what I call the third intersection, you're going to notice it looks kind of like a sideways T in the road. So just note that you'll see this big Greenway sign on the left, right in front of a beautiful wooden bridge. If you go directly straight from there, you're going to be going on the branch where there's a tunnel. If you were to turn right, you're going to go on the branch that goes all the way up to Fountain Rock Park. That is South Trade Street. Isn't this a cool tunnel? All right.
Hey, I wonder if I can do a listing over there.
Hello. Hello. Woohoo! If somebody says act your age, what are you going to tell them? No. After the tunnel, the trail ends at South Trade Street. This is the southern end of South Trade Street when it comes to this greenway system, because when you go the other way, it'll take you to South Trade Street. That's a little bit further north.
Hey there. That's a pretty slick tunnel.
Now let's just return to that wooden bridge. You'll notice the trailhead sign on your right after the wooden bridge, so you know that you're going to turn left to continue onto the greenway onto the northern South Trade Street part. This is really probably my favorite part of the trail, is this whole section right here. It's got a lot of cool things. Oops, we had to stop. We heard an owl and it was really loud, so Dale stopped and looked up in the trees and he saw this owl. So we just continued on riding through this shady sweetness. I mean, look at all this canopy. This trail is so sweet. But we continued on until we came to this really awesome bench.
Has a little path to get there. That's a long bench too.
And then we just rode for a skinny little minute until we came to Rock Park, or Fountain Rock Park as it says on the map. And it's really cute. I mean, there's a weather station there, and there's beautiful flowers, and there's a fountain in the rocks. It's definitely worth a stop and a look-see, I think. One of the nice things on this part of the trail. When you continue riding, you'll end up at the upper part of South Trade Street. Look to your left to find the Country Place Park. Look, they provided chessboards and they look to be permanent. And that pillar, look at that pretty artwork. If you want to venture on and leave this greenway, you can cross South Trade Street at this crosswalk. But if you swing back and go to the light at Clubhouse Vista Drive, you can cross at the light. Once you've crossed the street, you'll find this short but really fun greenway. It ends at Deer Crossing Drive. This time we didn't cross at the light there at Club Vista Drive and South Trade Street. We just swung around and followed the greenway until we came to that crosswalk and went across that and back onto the trail we went. Just take a look at this sign over here on the left. It says Trib 2. I swear it was not called Trib 2 when we came up. Okay, I figured it out. The confusion lies in the fact that I'm reading the top of those great big Greenway signs, and on the way up this side of the Greenway, the Trib 2 signs were on little teeny tiny posts where you could not see them very easily. But going back, they had it on the big signs. Now let's just fast forward and pretend that we're back where the Squirrel Lake Park sign is pointing sideways. Just go right on past it. Now you're on the Greenway heading towards East John Street. Right before the path ends, you'll ride over this shady, beautiful boardwalk. It was already shady at the beginning of April. Sheesh, come summer, it'll look like a tunnel of green. At the end of the boardwalk, the path ends. Swing around and ride back over this beautiful bridge until you come to the Squirrel Lake Park sign again. But hold on, wait for it. I can't stop looking at this beautiful boardwalk. Anyway, when you get back to where the Squirrel Lake Park sign is, you're gonna turn left and go down the Storybook Road again, and the next intersection, just hang a left to go past the lake and back to the parking lot. So that's how you get around the Matthews Township 4 Mile Creek Greenway system. Now, as mentioned before, there is a mountain bike 4 Mile Creek Trail. If you're into that, it's located on the Fountain Rock Park route. You know, the one that goes to the upper part of South Trade Street. See the sign? Well, my fat tires must not be fat enough, because when we attempted to ride it, my tires kept slipping out from underneath me. I said, nope. Turned around and said goodbye to that trail. There's a lot to love about this Greenway system. I am so glad we found it. So, how many stars are we going to give the Matthews 4 Mile Creek Greenway system? 8 stars! We're taking away 1 star for the root damage, which was very nominal. And we're taking away 1 star for the misnomer naming conventions that were confusing. What a great trail! I don't like riding on this kind of stuff, honey. Where? Oh, okay, I'm getting out of here. I'm confused. Like, I am very confused. Huh. On your right. Woo! I don't know which way to go. Center.
Aren't we going this way?
Okay, if I'm facing this way, I'm not facing the trail. 9 miles, 9. We haven't gone no 9 miles. That goes to Matthews Heritage Trail. I wonder what that is. Let's go look.